The film begins with Captain Jakub Prochaska aboard a spaceship, broadcasting from a press conference with Commissioner Tuma, revealing his location on the outskirts of Jupiter. He explains that he's on track with his mission to examine particles of a mysterious cloud visible from Earth. When a young girl asks him how it feels to be the loneliest man in the world, Commissioner Tuma corrects her, stating that he's the most distant man instead. Jakub responds, asserting that he doesn't feel lonely and is proud of his mission. Meanwhile, his wife Lenka sends a recording explaining that she has to leave him, but this message is intercepted by an officer. In another scene, Jakub asks Peter to approve the repair of his noisy toilet, but Peter prioritizes the repair of broken cameras. The video is reviewed by the commissioner, who decides not to show it to Jakub. Despite attempting to call his wife using a communication device, Jakub receives no response. Later, he awakens to the noisy toilet and discovers a spider inside his face in the mirror, only to realize it was just a dream. Jakub continues his simulations aboard the ship, expressing concern for his wife's well-being. When he tries to contact her, a stranger answers the phone, leaving him distressed. Despite feeling unwell, Jakub reassures Peter that everything is fine. One night, he hears a noise and encounters a large spider, who calms him, revealing that it's real but prefers not to be touched. The spider claims to understand human ways but fails to grasp Jakub's loneliness, offering to help him. Despite initial resistance, Jakub reluctantly accepts the spider's presence. As Jakub dreams about his wife, memories of their fights resurface. Meanwhile, Lenka confides in her mother about her plan to go to a home for pregnant women, but her mother advises against leaving her husband. Jakub watches videos of his wife until interrupted by the spider, who he eventually allows to stay. They bond over jam as the spider shares its story of wandering the universe for comfort after its planet was attacked. And it's Jakub's memories. The command center reports issues with Lenka's communication device, prompting Jakub to request repairs. As they approach the mysterious cloud, Jakub and the spider share a moment admiring its beauty. The spider explains that the cloud is from the beginning of time. Jakub reminisces about his promises to Lenka, revealing a deep emotional connection. The spider questions Jakub's motivations, leading Jakub to confront his own feelings of emptiness and isolation. Despite their differences, they find solace in each other's company. However, tensions arise when Jakub's memories of Lenka intensify, causing him to question his commitment to the mission. As the journey continues, Jakub and the spider navigate their evolving relationship, ultimately finding understanding and companionship amidst the vastness of space. Jakub asks if the spider is creating these thoughts, but the spider says no. Jakub tells the spider to stop, but the memory of him and his wife in a pool keeps playing. The spider asks him why he only looks for his wife when she leaves. Jakub cannot answer the questions. The spider tells him that his memories make him sad. In the next scene, Lenka is seen talking to her mom, telling her she feels sad about her husband and she made a mistake, and her mom comforts her. Jakub asks the spider if he has a name. When the spider says no, Jakub names him Hannes based on a story of a scientist his dad told him when he was younger. They listen to classical music together, and Jakub tells Hannes that the music is about forbidden love. Hannes says that Jakub relates to the music. Jakub gets a memory of his wife taking him to a secret place while they are talking to each other about their life. Hannes asks Jakub where his love with his wife went, but Jakub tells him to stop. Jakub dreams about his childhood. He sees his dad taking the life of pigs. He wakes up and finds Hannes in the noisy bathroom, and he says the noisy vibrations soothe him. After seeing Jakub's memories, Jakub removes Hannes' band from the bathroom. Jakub is on the treadmill and explains that he needs to run to have strong bones. Hannes says that Jakub leaves Earth, but it is destroying his body. Hannes asks about Jakub's father while he is on the treadmill. Jakub explains that his father was a good man who was doing bad things. Jakub gets memories of his dad growing up, and their house is on fire. Hannes tells him that he is trying to fix his dad's sins by going to space. Hannes tells him not to focus on his dad's mistakes, but focus on being a father. Lenka is sleeping while the commissioner comes to see Lenka and tries to convince her not to leave Jakub for the sake of the mission. The commissioner tells Lenka she will not send her message to Jakub because they are protecting Jakub for the sake of the mission. The commissioner tells Lenka that Jakub misses his wife. The commissioner tries to convince Lenka not to leave her husband, but Lenka has already decided. While Jakub is working on his ship, a recording of his previous conversation with his wife suddenly plays on the communication machine. The spider watches the video with Jakub. Jakub tries to turn the video off, but it won't turn off. In the video, Lenka tells Jakub that he left her for the mission. The video ends and a purple particle from the cloud appears from the communication device. Jacob gets excited and tries to catch it inside a jar, but it just slips away. Hannes explains that it cannot be caught, but Jacob still tries to catch it but fails in the end. Jacob tries to contact the control center, but there is no reply. More of the purple dust comes into the ship, and Jacob watches as they approach the purple cloud. Jacob is worried, but Hannes tells him that the cloud will not harm them. Jacob tries to contact the command center, but no one replies. Hannes asks why Jacob's child causes him and Lenka stress, and Jacob says it does not, but he gets a memory of Lenka on a treadmill when they lost their first child. Hannes realizes that Jacob was absent when Lenka lost their child and points out that Lenka is alone with their child once again. In the next scene, Lenka moves into the house for pregnant women. Hannes observes Jacob's unwavering focus on the mission, despite the onslaught of memories flooding his mind. As Jacob recalls his broken promises to Lenka, Hannes points out how these unfulfilled vows have shattered his wife's belief in him. Jacob finally reaches the control center and assures them of the situation's stability. However, Hannes persists in dredging up memories, eager for Jacob to confront them. Among these memories are the heartfelt promises Jacob made to Lenka before departing for space. Confronted with his own failings, Jacob realizes the extent of his neglect towards his wife. Desperately, he pleads with Hannes to stay, inadvertently making physical contact. In response, Hannes forcefully corners Jacob, condemning him for his self-centeredness. With a final admonition, Hannes vanishes, leaving Jacob to grapple with his regrets. Haunted by memories of Hannes and his wife's love, Jacob comes to a profound realization of his neglect. Determined to make amends, he urgently contacts the control center, insisting that Peter convey a message to Lenka before the mission proceeds. As Peter makes his way to Lenka, Jacob pours out his heart over the phone, expressing remorse for his empty promises and selfish actions. Tears stream down Lenka's face as she listens to Jacob's heartfelt words, their shared pain palpable even through the distance. Jacob gains more memories of his father's wake. He is seen holding his father's ashes when suddenly Hannes appears again and tells Jacob that he has changed his mind. He advises Jacob to rest, and Jacob falls asleep. Jacob wakes up, and Hannes is back at the spaceship. Hannes says he does not want to be alone when they enter the mysterious cloud. Jacob is concerned that Hannes looks sick, and Hannes confesses that he is not feeling well. Jacob is worried and reaches his hand out to give him a hug. Hannes wakes up Jacob as they approach the strange purple cloud, and Jacob prepares to approach the cloud. The command center plays a pre-recorded video of his approach to the cloud. They claim victory over the Koreans as they approach the purple cloud first. Jacob sets up to deploy the collection device to gather dust from the cloud, and the collection starts. Suddenly, Hannes feels unwell and starts to drift away. Many alarms go off, but Jacob abandons his ship and chases after Hannes. The command center tells Jacob to abort the mission because of many alarms, but Jacob continues to chase Hannes. Jacob gets a gas tank and goes out of the spaceship. He uses the gas to get closer to Hannes, but the gas is out of control, and Jacob loses connection with the ship. Jacob reaches Hannes, and Hannes reveals that he will die soon. Jacob tells Hannes memories of his childhood. He thinks they will die, but Hannes says it is not the end. Hannes brings Jacob to travel inside the purple cloud. They arrive inside the purple cloud, and Jacob asks where they are. There are many memories of Jacob's past and future, and Hannes tells him they are at the beginning of time, where he can see everything. Jacob gets dizzy as they go through the cloud, and they come to a space of silence. Hannes shows Jacob the first time he saw his wife Lenka, making him realize that he is madly in love with her. Hannes tells Jacob that he chased after the purple cloud, that something is missing. Jacob tells Hannes that Lenka is not here and realizes that Hannes will soon go away. He gives him one last bite of the jam that Hannes enjoys. Suddenly, a light appears, and Jacob says he is afraid, but Hannes says that there is hope for his wife. Hannes is consumed by bugs and turns into purple dust as Jacob watches him go. As the light envelops Jacob, he feels an overwhelming sense of peace wash over him, and he surrenders to a deep slumber. Meanwhile, Lenka, back on Earth, is going about her day when she notices a peculiar sight, purple dust drifting elegantly in the clouds, a sight that triggers memories of her husband Jacob. Lost in thoughts of their shared past, she suddenly receives an unexpected call. Answering the phone with a mix of trepidation and hope, Lenka is stunned to hear Jacob's voice on the other end of the line. Confusion gives way to disbelief as Jacob explains that he's aboard a Korean spaceship, not too far from Earth. In a heartfelt confession, Jacob reassures Lenka that he never intended to leave her, that the mission was never about abandoning their love. Tears welling up in her eyes, Lenka's heart feels as though it's been lifted from a heavy burden. With Jakub's words echoing in her ears, she realizes that perhaps there's still hope for their relationship, a chance to mend the fractures that had formed between them. With a newfound sense of determination, Lenka opens up to Jakub, expressing her readiness to give their love another chance. Meanwhile, Jakub finds himself in a dreamlike state where reality blurs seamlessly with fantasy. In his dreams, he sees Lenka, radiant as ever, her laughter like music to his ears. Their love, once buried beneath the weight of distance and misunderstanding, now blooms anew in the ethereal realm of dreams. As Jakub's dream unfolds, the light surrounding him morphs into the shape of a spaceship, its sleek design cutting through the darkness of space. With a start, Jakub realizes that what he had initially mistaken for a mere celestial phenomenon is, in fact, a vessel of human creation. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, Jakub braces himself for what lies ahead. His heart beats with the anticipation of reuniting with Lenka, of embracing her warmth once more. As the spaceship draws closer, Jakub's resolve strengthens. He's determined to make things right, to rewrite the narrative of their love story. And so, against the backdrop of the cosmos, two souls, separated by vast distances, find themselves on the brink of a new beginning. With promises of reconciliation and redemption hanging in the air, Jakub and Lenka's journey, both literal and metaphorical, unfolds with the hope of a brighter tomorrow.